Adventures of Sonic Episode 46, Robolympics. We start out with a turtle hunchback guy showing up out of nowhere when Sonic's going to eat. Unfortunately, he talks slow just like the sloths. This is going to be really tedious, isn't it? Somehow I'm expected to believe that he was still talking to Sonic and Tails without ever realizing that they weren't following him. When he realized that he's not hearing their footsteps behind him? The music is good for this, but there's no way it took that long for him to figure this out. After that padding, he warned Sonic with a telescope that an asteroid is going to destroy Turtle Town. Who cares? If all of the turtles are going to be this tedious dragging out the episode, I can't really care. It's not like they're all geniuses, and they'll be a huge loss. Robotnik sends Sonic a message and tells him that he's the only one in Mobius who can stop the asteroid. He challenges Sonic to meet him at the games, and if he wins the most gold medals, he'll stop the asteroid. What incentive does he have to actually carry out his end of the bargain? Why would he be trusted to do that? That's desperate. Somehow I'm expected to believe that Robotnik's face was made to look goofy because Sonic did something with a pencil to the other end of camera footage showing his face. So we have a second episode in a row showing Sonic in a Coliseum. Oddly, this time there's actually some crowd people that are cheering for Robotnik, and they're all robots of his. Why don't those robots lay out his traps? After some time is wasted, the first event starts. The pole vault. Robotnik tells Sonic to choose his weapon, and he picks a pole. What if Sonic chose Robotnik's pole, which is clearly a cheater's pole? He told him to pick either one. Right away the whole plot falls apart, because his cheating should have gotten him disqualified. Unless he's bribed the referee or threatened him, but they don't bother to explain that. If Robotnik was in charge of the world, this would have made sense. Sonic vaults over a pole and magically sprouts a bullshit parasol from his head to slow down his fall, avoiding the piranhas unsatisfyingly. This episode's gonna suck, isn't it? Then Robotnik vaults over a pole himself. I can't imagine Robotnik being fit enough to participate in the Olympics himself. It's the first time he's doing the dirty work for himself and it doesn't make much sense. Well, not the first time, but... He vaults into the piranha pond and barely suffers any injuries from it. Scratch drops shot puts on Robotnik's feet and somehow he manages to walk around just fine afterwards. He says he developed a radio-controlled anti-gravity ball, but then he finds out he wasn't using the remote for it, but Grounder's stereo remote. So he left the actual remote behind and the shot put lands on Robotnik's head. This kind of slapstick doesn't work for Robotnik. He should have died from that. It's not established that he's an android. I guess his mustache is fake in the show since this happens. Oh yeah, why would he give Grounder a stereo remote, or a stereo at all? Scratch has the predictable trap because he has the shot put for Sonic via bomb.
Please? Not now, Tails. I got a town to sing.
Scratch tells Sonic there's some dirt on his ball, and I'm expected to believe that Sonic doesn't notice him lighting the fuse on it with his finger right in front of him. At least it's competent of Scratch to have a match lighting hand. Will we ever see it being used again though? Sonic smells the fire from the bomb, letting him figure things out, and he throws the bomb at Grounder, which somehow doesn't destroy Scratch and Grounder, and instead sends them into a hole all dazed. The slapstick in the show goes too far, and it's not believable. Robotnik somehow is awarded the gold medal, and Scratch goes first to lift the barbell. Him and Grounder start fighting, and predictably they drop the barbell on Robotnik. Once again, he's only hurt for a very brief moment, and he's not healed by a magical healing ray or something to justify this. And he tells them to hit their own heads with hammers. So, how is it considered fair that Sonic doesn't have any teammates and Robotnik has two here? He says that he sent in his place a super strong robot who can't lose. This really should be grounds for disqualification. This plot would have worked if Robotnik was ruler of the world like an RG Sonic and could have conceivably been in charge of the Olympics and rigged it in his favor. They insist on giving the robot a stupid voice, and Sonic goads him into having the biggest barbell ever for Sonic to lift. Then he tells the robot to lift the heavy barbell, and he explodes. That victory felt so easy that I don't feel satisfied with it. I feel like we're skipping past stuff here in universe because suddenly both Sonic and Robotnik have multiple medals. There's some wasted time because we see the crowd, and the Turtle Man reminds us that Turtle Town is in danger, which I already know. Robotnik and Sonic run around a race where the things they have to jump over are electrified, and Robotnik realistically can't jump over them. I mean, this is more entertaining than the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games games. Sonic falls in the quick dry cement, but when Robotnik falls on the cement, the shockwave somehow breaks Sonic free of the cement and he dives into the pool. Then he gets out of the water running along the surface fast enough to avoid being frozen in the water, and Robotnik is too high up to hear the robots warning him. While they do manage to warn him, it doesn't matter because their combined weight breaks the seesaw and they all fall to the ice and break it, with Robotnik not being injured at all. This whole episode will be predictable and repetitive, with Robotnik falling into his own traps every single time, won't it? I get karma, but it's boring. Sonic starts water skiing, and he gets threatened by heat-seeking torpedoes. Why can't it be Tails who does the water sports? Because Sonic's hydrophobic.
Come on, Sonic! Let me try, please?
Sonic's doing all the work, and Tails lampshading it doesn't make it good writing. Sonic survives the encounter really easily in a blink and you'll miss it moment where Robotnik gets sent into the sand out of his boat and the boat lands on him. I don't like that the blur below Sonic is kind of blue and not red when he's running. For once, Robotnik is injured because he uses crutches. Never mind, he stands up just fine as he sends a laser at Sonic, attracting him towards spitting, spiked rolling pins. Sonic calls Tails, asking him to throw him a javelin. Sonic very easily uses it to escape the trap, when the trap should have sent him towards the rolling pins regardless. Sonic avoids the laser, and the laser is a Chekhov's gun preventing the asteroid from hitting Turtle Town, and instead it hits Robotnik. Wait, wouldn't the asteroid's impact cause a shockwave or something, hurting everyone in the Coliseum? Throwing up dust into the atmosphere or whatnot? Isn't this the kind of thing that killed off the dinosaurs? That's insulting. And the Sonic Says message lectures us about exercising. I guess this episode was alright. It was interesting that Robotnik was the one competing in the Olympics against Sonic. But the Archie Sonic comic did this concept better. Robotnik was in charge of the world, explaining why he could get away with flagrant cheating at a competition. And there are all sorts of different heroes competing in the Olympics, rather than Sonic and Gary Stu doing all the work, with even Tails coming really in handy as a Chekhov's gun. And the plot wasn't predictable, with every single time Robotnik falling victim to his own traps, while Sonic escapes them way too easily.